Yeah, I'll react to that, sure. Okay, guys. So, need a haircut. We are doing. See, whenever my hair gets too poofy, I can just put a hat on. Or else I get like a afro of hair. Well, not an afro, like a. I don't know. Let's go. Rick Steves Europe. Love the channel. Canterbury, religious hub of medieval England. Right. Why is the Archbishop from... Anyways, let's do it. We're going to watch both of these
For a
because
more
they're
tangible
both
look at this,
pretty short. Avebury and Canterbury. The original link to the video, top of the description. Below that, link to the Discord. I am just waking up. Did I say that? And we're going to watch some Rick Steves Europe. Let's go.
importance, a half-hour. While Dover was of great military importance, a half-hour drive away is Canterbury, long one of England's most important religious centers.
Oh my God, that's so great.
For centuries, Canterbury welcomed crowds of pilgrims to its grand cathedral. While these days you'll see more tourists than pilgrims, the town is rich in history and architectural splendor. With thousands of university students and a thriving pedestrian zone, Canterbury has a lively and youthful energy.
Oh my God, it looks amazing.
The town center.
This just screams England to me. You got this old, super old looking thing right here. Nice cobblestone town square, overreaching buildings. Just perfect.
With thousands of university students and a
Overhanging.
thriving pedestrian zone, Canterbury has a lively and youthful energy. The town center is enclosed by old city walls and cut in two by its main drag. Patches of modern architecture are a reminder that much of Canterbury was bombed in World War II. For a leisurely, water-level view of Canterbury, take a calm cruise on the Stour River. Students, propelling their punts by the traditional single pole, offer an easygoing commentary.
I feel like I'm in Robin.
This is the Stour.
The Great Stour River. The great part's important because there's about 6 river Stours in Britain.
This is the great one?
This is the great one. The Anglo-Saxons weren't very imaginative and they named things.
Well, and their other rivers were pretty small.
Yeah,
The water's pretty clear.
it's crystal clear. It's because it's a chalk river, so obviously Kent is very famous for having chalky soil with the White Cliffs of Dover.
Yeah.
And chalk rivers, the chalk filters the water, so you get this clear water.
On Butchery Lane, the surviving medieval buildings jut out with each floor. That was to maximize usable land as the population crowded within the town's protective walls.
What was the reasoning? I want to make that like my
Butchery Lane.
I was like
the
mesmerized.
surviving
I want to make this my screensaver or something. What was the reason?
medieval buildings jut out with each floor. That was to maximize usable land as the population crowded
Alright.
within the town's protective walls. A square called Butter Market, originally the Dairy Market, still functions as the center of the old town. The buildings here were originally designed to house and feed the pilgrims, whose money essentially built this city. For generations, those pilgrims passed through this fancy gate to reach their destination, Canterbury Cathedral. For centuries an important Roman Catholic church, the cathedral had a tumultuous path to eventually become the headquarters of the Church of England, known outside of England as the Anglican or Episcopalian Church. Stepping inside, you're swept away by the graceful blend of soaring Gothic lines, stirring windows, and fine stonework. The bell tower soars about 200 feet high. Gaze way up at the delicate fan vaulting at the highest point.
Structurally, isn't the whole point of fan vaulting that they connect with each other to kind of have that archway supportive effect? It looks beautiful, but I would have thought they would have had to, does that make sense?
The finely carved 15th century choir screen is decorated with statues of 6 English kings. This wall, or screen, separated the church into 2 distinct zones. One side was for the public. Then, stepping through, as if entering another world, you entered the private space of monks, where each day they'd gather to worship. The cathedral grew in
There
importance.
seemed to have been a similar thing in the what's that famous where the coronation happened, the Westminster Abbey, right? Similar kind of. It looks more wooden though in the Abbey instead of
And wealth after an
rock,
infamous
but I
murder back in the 12th
could be
century.
wrong, and I gotta stop
monks,
talking.
Where each day they'd gather to worship. The cathedral grew in importance and wealth after an infamous murder back in the 12th century put it on the pilgrimage trail.
In an attempt to gain power over the church, King Henry II appointed his friend, Thomas Becket, to be the new archbishop. But Becket unexpectedly took his position and his religion seriously, very seriously. And Henry was stuck with a strong church leader blocking his power.
As tensions rose, King Henry complained bitterly about Becket. Finally, his knights took action, hacking the archbishop to death as he was worshiping on this spot. The murder shocked the medieval world. Soon word spread that miracles were occurring here. The Pope made Becket a saint, and masses of pilgrims came. With the steady stream of pilgrims, the church grew bigger and more important.
Several centuries and several Henrys later, King Henry VIII broke away entirely from the Roman Catholic Church so he could run his affairs without popes and bishops meddling.
Implementing his Reformation, Henry VIII purged the nave of its ornate decorations and Catholic iconography. He destroyed the relics of Becket, and pilgrims stopped coming.
Henry made this cathedral the leading church of his now independent Church of England. And today, Canterbury Cathedral, seat of the Archbishop of Canterbury, is the mother church of Anglicans worldwide.
Henry VIII. Well, how much later on was Henry VIII to Becket's murder? Henry VIII, at least like 200 years, right? Henry VIII, 1500s? So it's not like this super... Anyways, let's go to Avebury, all right?
Spiritual mystery. For a more tangible look at the spiritual mystery of this countryside, prehistoric stone circles are scattered all across Britain. These circles, many as old as Egypt's pyramids, were sacred centers of ritual and worship. They functioned as celestial calendars. 5,000 years ago, locals could tell when to plant and when to party, according to where the sun rose and where the sun set. It still works that way today. At the Avebury Stone Circle, you're free to wander among 100 stones. Visitors ponder the cohesive ensemble of ditches, mounds, and megaliths.
Oh, you can
The
actually
work
go...
of people clearly on a mission from thousands of years ago. The huge circle, while
That's awesome, because Stonehenge you couldn't get close, which, when you think about it, makes sense, right? But you can get right up to these and even stand on them.
cut in two by a busy road and so big it contains a village, retains its allure and wonder.
I wouldn't want to stand on them.
And nearby stands Silbury Hill, a yet-to-be-explained man-made mountain of chalk. For more than
Anything under it?
4,000 years, this largest man-made construction from prehistoric Europe is just another edifice from England's mysterious and ancient religious landscape.
And exactly what's it all mean? We'll never know for sure. It's like looking at the ruins of a medieval church and from that alone trying to understand Christianity.
That's a good way of putting it. All right, guys, I know these are quick videos. I needed a wake-up video. And I'm ready to go on to more stuff. Love Rick Steves Europe. Great channel. Hope you guys are all doing well. Appreciate any comments down below. And I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.